Hey guys, how's it going? Seth from Just Seth PC here, and today we are going to be looking at the Fractal Design Define R5. Um, this is the successor to the ever popular Define R4, which I unfortunately did not have the opportunity to mess with or build in. I did have the opportunity to mess with this one. This case is definitely designed for silence. It has a lot of, I can't say precautions, but measures towards silence and noise optimization. Starting out with the front here, because that's the most popular part. It is a faux brushed metal, but with it being plastic, you don't have to worry about fingerprints or scratches or anything along those lines. Let me try to get this right angle here. As you can see, there's a lot of room in there for airflow, through this front panel. Um, Door swings out of the box. It does swing the other way, but it's really simple. Take a screw out, and you switch it to the other side. Because it just makes sense, with the case window being right here, and with the case being on your right, facing outward, kind of defeats the purpose of having it open up the other way. But I mean, other than that, there's nothing wrong with it. It does have a lot of sound deadening material on there, as I'm pretty sure you could potentially hear. But we move on to a rather large louvered dust filter for the front. Um, this is really the only case badging on this entire case because you see there's nothing. It's just plain. Um, in the front, you can fit either two 120s or two 140 millimeter fans. This one does include a 140 in the front, and a 140 in the rear. It does have a 3-speed fan controller built in, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. You get your two 5¼ inch bays. I'm not going to take those out because I always have so much difficulty doing it, so I don't want to embarrass myself. And another really good thing about this case is it has a full-length dust filter for the bottom that you can take right out of the front. So you don't have to worry about pulling your case away from the wall, or struggling with it. So you should be good and it does cover all the way back to the power supply. So you won't run into any issues. I can just tell you that much. Moving on to the front I/O, so I don't have to move my camera again. You can see here that it has headphone, microphone, reset, a very large clicky power button, two USB 2.0 and two USB 3.0. And the really nice thing, keeping with that whole, how do they call it, a very Scandinavian minimalistic design, it's not blue for the 3.0. It's all black, to keep a very low, or kind of really stay under the radar. And you do have a hard drive activity LED and a power LED right here. I knew that was going to happen. Moving on to the left side panel, it does not have captive thumb screws, so you got to take them out all the way. But if you do happen to lose them, that's perfectly fine, because if you notice, it doesn't come off. It has this nice latch mechanism, and then the door just swings off. So even if you do happen to lose your thumb drive or your thumb screws, they have a really nice latching system on here. So in my opinion, I won't even be using the thumb screws anyways. I'll just keep with the latching mechanism. And even the side panel, the windowed side panel, does have sound deadening material on there. Once again, to help with noise optimization. It does have a very nice open side panel there, which I'm not going to take the plastic off, not until next video. Whenever I do my loop in here. But like I was saying, it does have the other 140 millimeter fan, and these are the Fractal Design GP14s. Yes, GP14s. I almost lost it right there. Looking back at the back, you have your 7 PCI Express, so you can at least do two-way SOI or potentially squeeze 3-way Crossfire into there, but don't want to really force anything. Moving on to your drive cages, which are really the only other thing in this case that's white and not black. You can see that they are metal, which is a very nice thing. And what's really nice, or nifty, I should say, is like the Mickey Mouse design here. Don't sue me, Disney. You can move the rubber grommet forward or backwards. Say you have all you have is straight angle data or straight angle SATA cables, and you don't want them to hit the back side panel, so you just move the grommet up a little bit, and it stays up out of the way. So another really nice thing about this case is it's very optimized for silence, but it's also very optimized for water cooling, because you can fit a in the back you can fit a 120 or a 140. In the top you fit a 120, a 140, a 240, a 280, a 360, or a 420. In the front you could fit a 120, a 140, a 240, a 280, or even a 360. And then last but not least, you could fit a 120, a 140, or a 240 in the bottom. The only limitations that you're going to run into are the 240 and the 280. Sorry, not the 240. The 280 and the 420. You can only have a maximum thickness of 55 millimeters. Actually, I'm sorry. The 140, the 280, the 420, pretty much all of the 140 mil variants can only be 55 millimeters thick, because you're not offset forward like you are with the 120 variant. You're more towards the middle, and motherboard spacing and just clearance issues. But that being said, you can remove your entire drive cages with just 2 thumb screws, and that's the best part about it is just 3. I'm sorry, 3. I already had these out. And what's really, 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 really nice is the bottom also comes out. This is the only thing that you do need tools for, is to remove the 4. I just bumped my camera, my bad. Is to remove the 4 screws off the bottom of here that attach it to the bottom. And I'm guessing they didn't use thumb screws because of the full-length fan filter, or a dust filter. I keep calling it a fan filter for some reason. But also, your 5 1/4 inch bays are also removable. So as you can see, this case went from your standard really good for airflow all the way to can hold a lot of water cooling support. Diving in a little bit deeper, you do have support up to a full-size ATX. Unfortunately, you cannot fit eATX because, perfect angle right there. You see the little indent all the way around because the motherboard's sunk in some. eATX would hang over and you just can't get it in there. Let me turn the case around and we're going to look at the back side. Now, the other side panel does have captive thumb screws, so that's at least a good thing, but you don't get that cold latch mechanism. I guess they figured a lot of people won't be coming to this side of their case. As you can see, this side panel has a lot of sound deadening material. This is a very heavy case for its size. Starting from the bottom, you have well over an inch of cable management and cable routing channels, which is very thankful because the motherboard's pushed back so far that the rest of this for the power supply is pushed forward. You do have 2 2.5 inch drive sleds that are right here on the back. Oh, which I did forget to mention. The 3.5 inch sleds can also hold 2.5 inch. So realistically speaking here, you can have, what, 5, 3, 2, you can have up to 10 drives in this system, 8 of which are 3.5, and then 2, 2.5, or you have, 10 of 2.5. You can have a combination of all of them, which is really, really, really nice. One thing that Fractal does that I absolutely love, and I wish so many other manufacturers would do this, is the Velcro straps. I mean, they're built right in, doesn't take hardly anything to build, and it's just, look, you can see right out of the box it has great cable management. Oh yeah, and then the last cool thing that Fractal has on this case is what they are calling their Moji-Vent design. Basically, the top is solid for right now because it don't have any radiators or fans up top. But say that you want to put those in, it's as simple as finding the tab, and then you remove it if you only want 1 fan, 2 fans, 3 fans, 1 in the middle, blah blah blah. It does have this sound deadening material on here to help with the silence, even on these little things. So one can only imagine at how silent this case really is. I mean, you can have a blower style fan like I do with my reference 970 and basically just run it at full bore, and you'd probably never even know it. Now, if I could just find the tab. There it is. And like I said, all 3 of them do come out. So you have a really nice, wide open design on this to be able to do pretty much whatever you want on here. I think that just about wraps up everything. Oh, and another thing, if you decide to want to put a radiator up front, but you still need 3.5-inch drives, you can move this by putting the screws on the bottom. You can move it in the middle. You can do a bunch of different configurations. Like, we're just going to set this in here and play around with it for a quick second. There's a lot more work than this to put all this back together, but I'm just putting 1 or 2 screws in just to pretty much just to say that I did it. But you can have that one down there. You can hang that one up there. You can remove this one altogether. You can remove these little feet and screw this one down. And screw that one down to there. You have a couple pretty good options for everything, but we will find out what kind of goofy shenanigans I can get myself into whenever I try to stuff everything from my 750D case into this Fractal Design R5. So I guess that about wraps it up for this one. If you guys liked it, like the video, subscribe, comment. If you absolutely hated it, if you hate how I'm doing everything, let me know. If you have a way that I can make it better, let me know. But anyways, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one.